Finally, Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk are close to signing new contracts with Liverpool Football Club. That is the breaking news in the last hour or so. And I am absolutely ecstatic. This is finally coming out after a long, long saga between the club and the players, the long drawn out saga. And finally, we're going to get to a positive conclusion. That is Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk staying. That is what is coming out of Time Sport, Lewis Steele, Paul Joyce, Romano, Ornstein, all coming out of it now. That means it's pretty much nearly enough done. Let's get into it. Let's get the breaking news. Let's give you the Liverpool news of today, including, obviously, a few more things as well. But let's talk about Mohamed Salah. Let's talk about Virgil van Dijk, how important these two are in terms of staying at Liverpool Football Club and building on next season. Lewis Steele, our friend Lewis Steele, understand that Mohamed Salah is closer than ever to renewing his Liverpool contract, with Virgil van Dijk closing in on a deal as well. Then Paul Joyce came through as well and confirmed the Salah news, and also came out and said, after a breakthrough in negotiations with Virgil van Dijk, the club's captain, it is understood that there are growing expectation that a new deal will be struck with Salah. Yes, exactly what we need. Exactly what we need at the time we need it as well. It has been a negative couple of months, losing to Fulham, losing the Carabao Cup final, losing the Champions League. This is exactly what we needed. Sign these two up and then go win this Premier League title. These two signing up is a major, major boost in the Liverpool fan base. It's a massive boost in the Liverpool fan base. We need these two. I was going to go on to what else was being said as well. There's been Paul Joyce went on to say, also reliable as Paul Joyce. There have been reports this week that Salah's age was meant to be facing a reduction in salary to stay at Liverpool, but it is understood a pay cut has not been on the agenda during talks. So the reports earlier on the week that the potentially a pay cut for Salah, that is not happening. He is signing a deal with pretty much probably the same wage or an extended wage, and the deal is likely to be a 2-year contract. That is what that is what I'm seeing right now. David Ornstein, Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk closing in on signing new 2-year contracts with Liverpool. Both players in the final months of existing deals. Breakthrough final negotiations and fresh terms set to extend the pair at Liverpool until summer 2027. 2 years. That's a good deal. I'm happy with 2 years. I'm hoping it's going to be 2 years plus maybe 1 year extension potential. But keeping them is absolutely important. I think 1 year, certainly not. 2 years, it's all right, but 3 years would be perfect. But let's see. 2 years is better than nothing, isn't it? I'd rather these two stay on, build on these two next season. We've got to keep our best players, and keeping Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool is absolutely vital. It's absolutely vital. Forget the age for a second. These two have been the best two on the pitch this season for Liverpool and are the best in the world at what they do. This is absolutely key. We keep these at Liverpool Football Club in the coming years. It's just been a mad couple of hours. That coming out. I even messaged Lewis. Look, you've made my day. You've made my day with this news. Fair play to Lewis Steele. Fair play to Tynes. Fair play to Paul Joyce coming out of it. Romano doing his usual tappings, even though he came out earlier with news of it's just constant same stuff that he was coming out of 3 weeks ago. He's doing a little tapping merchant thing that he always does. But yeah, fair play to Lewis, fair play to Paul Joyce and David Ornstein as well, coming out with that news in recent times. So let's a little bit look. There's also more news obviously coming out from different sources as well. Chris Bascombe, while mood is positive around Salah and Van Dijk, it remains to be seen with decision and Trent Alexander-Arnold will take. I will get onto the Trent Alexander-Arnold news as well. Trying to try and find some bit more news on Mohamed Salah. I think that's pretty much. Again, the age doesn't come into it. The age doesn't come into it in terms of the contract going down. It's not going to be a pay cut. It's going to be 2 years. Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk signing for Liverpool for the next 2 years it's just great. Guys, let me know in the comments. Let me know in these comments how you feel about this news. How excited I am. How excited you guys at home. And how important is it to keep these two players at Liverpool Football Club? Absolutely huge news. I'm ecstatic. Let's get on to West Ham on Sunday with this positive news. Let's see if we can boost the team. This could boost the team. It certainly boosted the fan base. Everyone's absolutely happy and delighted with the news online. This is the boost the fan base needed. Let's see if this is the boost that the team needs now in the Premier League, and let's go win the Premier League title. So, yeah, let's go on to the Trent Alexander-Arnold bits as well. Chris Bascombe has come out and said that recent suggestions that he pledged his future to Real Madrid were emphatically dismissed by those with knowledge of the current state of negotiations, but there is a fear Liverpool are fighting a losing battle to keep him. So, all the news about Trent Alexander-Arnold joining Real Madrid last week was bullcrap, according to these sources now, and according to things that have come out in recent reports. Look, he hasn't joined Real Madrid, but Liverpool are sort of fighting a losing battle. Exactly what Chris Bascombe there says. It seems a matter of time that Trent is going to join Real Madrid. I think everyone's accepted Trent joining Real Madrid. It's going to happen. But yeah, he is categorically denying there that he has agreed anything, which came out a few weeks ago, and it all kicked off, didn't it? So I think the question is, could Trent do a U-turn? Could he do a Steven Gerrard? Because Steven Gerrard was this close to joining Chelsea, and all of a sudden he did a U-turn, stayed at Liverpool. Can Trent Alexander-Arnold do the same thing? Has he set it all up to follow Steven Gerrard's path and become a Liverpool captain? Who knows? I don't think he has. I still think Trent goes, but it would be nice to see Trent do a U-turn and think, you know what? I love this club. I'm going to stay, especially after Arsenal fashioned his team last night. But yeah, it is. I'm absolutely excited. I'm absolutely delighted at the news of Virgil van Dijk and Salah. And we've all been talking about the last few months. Like, if we had to lose one, I think everyone would have picked probably Trent because of what Salah and Van Dijk bring us and what how important they are to the team. Trent is very, very important to the team. I'm one of his biggest fans. I will always back Trent. I'm hoping he does stay. And we've missed him massively in the previous weeks. But Salah and Virgil van Dijk staying for me and for most Liverpool fans is probably more key and more important in terms of the way they play in the season, in terms of how important they are in terms of results. Trent Alexander-Arnold is certainly hard to replace, but it's harder to replace Virgil and Salah. But let's hope here. Let's hope this is brilliant news from Salah and Van Dijk. Let's hope Trent Alexander-Arnold sees this happening. Make him sort of maybe change his mind a little bit, and hoping Trent does change his mind at some point and stays as well. I was going to give you a little bit more news on today's news, because obviously the Salah news, the Van Dijk news, the Trent news, that will always take front and centre. That will always take up the majority of our news feed, our news episodes. But there is a little bit also on other things as well. Lewis Steele again came out and said about who Liverpool have been linked to in terms of strikers. Hugo Ekitike is the one right now that is being heard. This is what he said about Ekitike in the Mail Sport. Hugo Ekitike is the name that pops up the most when I speak to people. So I think it's fair to say he is one to keep a close eye on. That's a bit I was a bit underwhelmed with this news earlier on, because majority of us at Talking Reds, we don't really want Ekitike. Is not probably the one of like 8 strikers we're linked to. It's probably 7th or 8th on the list of people who wanted him. He's a decent striker, but I don't think he's Liverpool level for me. I'm hoping he proves me wrong. I hope he's still got plenty of potential. He's still a young lad. He's still got time to improve. But obviously, with the likes of Isaac out there, Alvarez out there, even Joao Pedro, even Cunha, and things like that, people like that I think are better. But that is the word that is going on around in Anfield. That is the word that Lewis Steele is hearing. He's very close to Anfield, as I know. That is the name that keeps popping up, Ekitike. So that is definitely one to keep an eye on. Let me know in the comments what you think about that one. I'm not too excited about that one, but it is what it is. He also went on to say about Liam Delap than Lewis. Liam Delap, as I've mentioned a lot, but I do not think he's a viable candidate. Joao Pedro is similar. There has been talk between Liverpool that Liverpool have lodged an interest in the Brazilian, but I don't believe this is true to be at this stage. So the reports that we were talking about Joao Pedro with Brighton, that's not true. Liam Delap doesn't seem a thing that's going to happen. I think Romano also said about Liam Delap being a £30 million release clause as well, which is very, very cheap. Sort of could prick the ears up of Michael Evans and FSG. But according to Lewis Steele, Liam Delap and Joao Pedro pretty much off the cards right now. It looks like Ekitike is the one that is looking at to be the likely Nunes replacement as number 9. But yeah, I think it's going to be, whatever happens, it's going to be a big, big summer in terms of, even if Salah and Van Dijk stay, which I worry in terms of, are we going to do enough in the transfer window? Because it already came out the report saying if they stay, then it might take a huge wad off the transfer budget, which it shouldn't do, but it's FSG. So I think, and we're already not talking about going for a midfielder. That's an absolute joke. If we're not going for a midfielder, we'll probably won't replace Trent. I could see personally, as mad as it sounds, I could see it just being a striker and a left back, and that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Yes, Van Dijk and Salah are the most important things to get sorted, but that should have nothing to do with the transfers we make this summer. All Salah and Van Dijk signing should do for our transfers this summer is not sign another right centre back or another right winger. Even then, I still want a right winger at some point to come in early and then eventually replace Salah. That's what I'd like. But yeah, we need a centre back, we need a left back, we need a DM, we need maybe another midfielder, a left winger, and a striker for me. But I can see us doing only 2 deals, and that's simply not good enough. But yeah, I am excited about that. Obviously, you see how excited I am. I'm absolutely ecstatic about Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. They are close to signing 2-year contracts with Liverpool Football Club. Wage cut is not apparent. We still don't know anything about Trent yet as such, but he still might do a U-turn. Who knows? Thank you, everyone, for watching. Make sure you smash that like. Smash that like. See how many likes I can get on this. See if you can like as much as you can with the Salah news. How much do you like what happened today with the news of Salah and Van Dijk? Show me by smashing that like button. Share, comment, everything you can. Subscribe to the channel. Notification bells on as well. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, Reds. And, how are we loving it right now?